For good returns on your investments, it is very important that you build a portfolio. A portfolio of fund is a set of investment made on various mutual fund schemes which are in line with our financial goal and our risk appetite. So obviously it is very important that we build a portfolio for good returns. Hello and welcome to IndianMoney.com. I am Juhi and today we will talk about the best funds to build your portfolio in. Now, before we talk about the best funds where we can build our portfolio, let us first talk about why portfolio building is good. By building a portfolio, one can look at their overall financial standing. They can buy or sell units that are not in sync with their investments, and they can avoid terrible losses by looking into such things. So it is very important that you build a good portfolio. Now let us move on in the video and let us talk about the best funds to build your portfolio in. Now you can build the funds in different capitals. For example, you can build your fund in large cap equity fund, in small cap equity fund, mid cap equity fund or FLEXI equity fund. Now let us move on into the video and learn about the top 3 funds in large cap equity fund, small cap equity fund, FLEXI cap equity fund and mid cap equity fund. Let us first talk about large cap equity fund. The first best performing fund under this category is Canara Robeco Blue Chip Equity Fund. So the net asset of Canara Robeco Blue Chip Equity Fund is 4,271.67 rupees. And the returns that this rate provide is very promising over the period of time. In 3 months, the return has been 11.11%. In 6 months, 19.93%. In 1 year, the return rate has been 55.36%. In 3 years, 20.93%. And in 5 years, 16.79%. The expense ratio of this fund is 1.91%. The next fund under this large cap equity fund category is Axis Blue Chip Fund. The net asset of Axis Blue Chip Fund is 32,212.63 rupees. And the return rate of this fund in 3 months is 12.79%, in 6 months 22.09%, in 1 year 55.26%, in 3 years 20.25%, in 5 years 17.82%. And the expense ratio of this fund is 1.58%. Now the next fund that we are going to talk about under this category is ICICI Prudential Sensex Index Fund. Now the net asset of ICICI Prudential Sensex Index Fund is 329.18 rupees. And the return of this fund in 3 months is 12.23%, in 6 months 18.87%, in 1 year 56.7% and in 3 years 17.66%. The expense ratio of this fund is 0.3%. Now let us move on into the video and talk about the next category, which is Equity Flexi Cap. Under this, there are 3 top performers again. The first performer is PGIM India Flexi Cap Fund. Now the net asset of PGIM India Flexi Cap Fund in crores is 2030.64 rupees. And the return of this fund in 3 months is 13.65%, in 6 months 29.8%, in 1 year 73.21%, in 3 years 26.76%, in 5 years 18.68%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 2.28%. The next fund under this category is Parag Parekh Flexi Cap Fund. The net asset of this fund in crores is 14,590.35 rupees. The return of this fund in 3 months is 18.33%, in 6 months 30.21%, in 1 year 64.46%, in 3 years 26.22%, in 5 years 22.01%. And the expense ratio of this fund is 1.82%. The next fund under this category is IIFL Focused Equity Fund. Now, the net asset of IIFL focused equity fund in crores is 2,285.18 rupees, and the return rate of this fund in 3 months is 14.65%, in 6 months 24.8%, in 1 year 65.18%, in 3 years 26.19%, in 5 years 17.9%. And the expense ratio of this fund is 2.02%. Now let us talk about the top 3 performers of equity mid-cap fund. The first one is PGIM India Mid-Cap Opportunities Fund. The net asset of PGIM India Mid-Cap Opportunity Fund in crore is 2,709.09 rupees, and the return rate of this fund in 3 months is 17.17%, in 6 months 36.31%, in 1 year 94.35%, in 3 year 31.4%, in 5 year 19.87%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 2.25%. Moving on to the next top performer of this category is Axis Midcap Fund. Now the net asset of Axis Midcap Fund in crores is 14,803.76 rupees, and the return rate of this fund is also very promising over time. In 3 months, the return rate is 15.76%, in 6 months 27.87%, in 1 year 68.44%, in 3 year 24.82%, in 5 year 20.94%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 1.84%. The next top performing fund under this category is Kotak Emerging Equity Fund. Now the net asset of Kotak Emerging Equity Fund is 15,708.53 rupees, and the return rate of this fund in 3 months is 10.36%, in 6 months 23.62%, in 1 year 75.18%, in 3 year 23.15%, in 5 year 17.27%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 1.81%. Now the next top 3 performer of Equity Small Cap Fund. The first top performer under this category is Axis Small Cap Fund. Now the net asset of Axis Small Cap Fund is 7,095.11 rupees, and the return rate of this fund has also been very good over the time. In 3 months, the return rate is 16.57%, in 6 months 35.9%, in 1 year 79.8%, in 3 year 29.91%, in 5 year 21.28%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 1.91%. The next top performer of this category is Kotak Small Cap Fund. The net asset of Kotak Small Cap Fund is 5,614.68 rupees in crores, and the return rate of this fund in 3 months is 13.95%, in 6 months 33.91%, in 1 year 101.73%, in 3 year 29.74%, in 5 year 20.01%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 1.94%. The next one is Nippon India Small Cap Fund. Now the net asset of Nippon India Small Cap Fund in crores is 16,632.78 rupees, and the return rate of this fund in 3 months is 14.32%, in 6 months 37.54%, in 1 year 94.84%, in 3 years 24.1%, in 5 years 21.59%, and the expense ratio of this fund is 1.82%. So these are the top 3 performers of equity large caps, equity flexi caps, mid caps and small caps. So if you are planning to invest, you can always invest into these funds. That's all for today's video. Hope you understood about the best performing funds to build your portfolio. If you want to learn more about investments, stocks, mutual funds, etc., you can do that on our Financial Freedom app, where we have developed different courses for you, that too in 6 different languages. To download the app, click the link given in the description box below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified of every video we post. For more informative videos on stocks, investments, farming and more, keep watching IndianMoney.com. This is me, Juhi Singh, signing off. Get wise, break free.